It's 12:32 p.m. in Los Angeles. It's 3:32 p.m. in Long Island, where I'm about to talk to Michael Deering, Vice President of Environmental Affairs at Long Island Power Authority. I'm Mark Strassman, reporter with Utopia News. Welcome, Mr. Deering, to Utopia News.
Thank you, Mark. Pleasure to be here today.
Let's talk a little bit about the Long Island Power Authority and get an idea about how big it is and how extensive its reach is. How big is your power authority?
Sure. The Long Island Power Authority, first of all, it's a municipal authority. We're a creation of New York State. We service about 1.1 million customers here on Long Island. It's a service territory of about 100 miles long and about 25 miles or so wide. Our customer base is about 1 million residential customers and about 100,000 commercial customers.
And how much energy do you sell annually?
Our peak load on a daily basis is probably about 5,000 megawatts.
Okay, so you're a pretty big organization.
We are among the top municipal authorities in the country.
Okay, good. Now tell us what a feed-in tariff is.
Sure, it's basically a standard offer. What we did, what our board of directors approved last month was for us to issue a request for solar renewable resources above 50 kW size systems, and the energy that was produced from those solar arrays, we would pay 22 cents a kilowatt hour, up to 50 megawatts total.
Now, feed-in tariffs have been around for a while, but not a lot of places have instituted them. What was the impetus for Long Island Power Authority to do this at this time?
Well, what we have done, we have a long-standing history in solar renewable energy going back to 2000, where we started our first residential rebate program. And what we wanted to do is to evolve that program into the larger scale solar sizes. So by going out with a standard offer, we can let the market come to us. We can let developers find the appropriate sites on which they could put solar arrays, and then our responsibility and our customers' responsibility is just to pay for the power produced. So as long as that solar array is producing energy, we purchase it. If the solar array doesn't produce, it's a cloudy day or there's a malfunction in the solar array and they're not producing energy, our customers aren't exposed to any risk. So it's a great way to expand renewables, advance renewable development here on Long Island, at the same time protecting our customers for any excess.
Okay, good. When will you start taking applications for the program?
We actually opened up the program on July 16th. We have had a very robust response. We actually broke the offer into 3 separate tranches. We had one tranche that was for system sizes of 50 kW up to 150 kW. We had a second tranche that was from 150 kW systems up to 500 kW systems. And then we had a third tranche that was unrestricted, that would basically be for those systems above 500 kW. These are systems that would be connected to a distribution system, so it requires no additional transmission infrastructure. Another benefit to solar energy. And as a result of the opening of the applications, as I say, we have had a very good response in all 3 of the tranches right now as we try to generate 50 megawatts, of solar energy over the next 2 years onto the system that would be producing energy for the next 20 years.
Okay, and how long is the term of the contract for these projects?
Yeah, it's a non-negotiable purchase power agreement, which is a standard offer, and that would be for a 20-year term.
And how much is the tariff? How much will the developers get?
We're going to pay 22 cents a kW for that power, so it is a little bit more expensive than traditional fossil fuel generation, but this program is to help, as I say, drive on-island development of renewable energy. is to help sustain an industry that we've built of solar businesses and solar jobs, and to provide a platform by which the developer is confident that he's going to get a rate of return that covers his costs and maybe a little bit of a profit, and we can get our energy from renewable resources.
What's been the response of the national media so far to this?
We've actually been getting very good interest in the national media as well as our local media. We've got some regional papers here. We've got a bunch of local papers that have all been covering it, and we have been getting very good press from a lot of the trade magazines. A lot of interest in the utility sector about what our experience has been leading up to the introduction of the feed-in tariff, as well as now that we're operating, how are things going? The next big step will be getting those contracts signed and getting those arrays produced.
How soon do you think some of these systems will come online?
Some of the smaller systems I would envision coming up within the next 3 to 6 months. As you get larger systems, it'll take a bit longer. I would predict that the majority of the installations will happen in 2013 timeframe, with some of the larger ones kicking over into the 2014 timeframe.
Where does this program put LIPA in terms of renewable energy leadership nationally?
LIPA has historically been in the top 10 of the SEPA national rankings for solar development. I think this keeps us in that top 10 ranking, probably will move us up a couple of notches, we're hoping. But I think more important than anything else, it signifies not only LIPA's leadership in advancing solar energy, but New York State's leadership in advancing solar energy. You know, we developed this program as part of Governor Cuomo's New York Sun initiative that he announced in his State of the State earlier this year, as he looks to grow New York State's solar renewable resources. We are very pleased to be a part of that and helping our customers grow renewables right here on the island.
When and according to what criteria will you decide about expanding the program?
Well, I think we're going to take a look at this program as it moves forward, how quickly these projects get developed, how the market reacts to this program. And I think this is a 2-year pilot program, but if it goes successfully and we can help drive the price down, we'll go back. We'll have continuing discussions with our board of directors to see if there's an opportunity for us to continue this and grow this program in the future. I do think this is a solid, practical way to advance solar development. And as I say, it's important for us to develop that resource here on Long Island. Its environmental benefits, its economic benefits, its job-creating benefits, as well as diversifying our energy portfolio.
Who will be able to take advantage of these feed-in tariffs? Homeowners, businesses?
Well, right now it's a commercial program, so it's not opened up to residential customers. Our residential customers can take advantage of our customer-sided rebate right now, but we're looking for commercial-size arrays and larger, 1-2 megawatt arrays. So it's really a commercial program, very good for our municipalities, our public spaces, our public buildings. So that's really where our market is being driven right now. It's in the commercial and the municipal sectors.
And how much will the program cost LIPA?
When it's fully subscribed, the expected cost through our fuel and purchase power will be about $17.5 million a year for 50 megawatts. That will be at a cost of about 40 some odd cents a month for our customer base. But as we have seen, these investments have had very positive benefits for us here on the island and for us as a utility. And it's something that is very, very much supported by our customer base.
Will the customers have to pay more for their power?
Well, it's built. We have budgeted this for us already, So there's no increase in our customers' bills right now. And that's how the program was designed. So we had budgeted for this program. It's built into their budgets right now. And again, I think it's something that we have seen them support in the past and continue to support very strongly across interest base right now.
And what's this going to do for the local solar industry in Long Island?
Well, that's a great point, because as a public authority, not only are we looking at the environmental and utility benefits, but we're also looking to stimulate the economy. And one of the things we're very proud of through our solar program is we basically created a solar industry here on Long Island of developers. What once started at a couple of part-time electricians back in 2000, we have over 55 companies here on Long Island that are dedicated to solar, that employ somewhere between 250 and 300 people. So what we want to do through this program and our other renewable programs is continue to sustain that industry that we have and to help them grow their businesses and create more jobs.
And more jobs and more business means more business for your utility.
That's exactly right, but it's not requiring additional generation through fossil fuel. It's helping us cut our peak demand, which is, as many folks know, we have to build our utility system to ensure that we have power for that hottest day of the year. So the more that we can cut that peak use, and that's a perfect segue for solar renewable resources. That's going to help us in terms of reducing, actually, costs over the long term and helping sustain our high reliability for our customers.
How does having a feed-in tariff program in place help developers raise the capital they need for their projects?
Well, the standard offer, and that's a great question, because that's where the purchase power agreement comes in. That's a guarantee from their utility, LIPA, to purchase the power produced over the 20-year period of time. So that's like investing in a long-term treasury bond. You know that there's somebody who's going to be backing that program, that's going to have the finances necessary to continue to pay for that power. So they have the ability, the developer then has the ability to go out and get the financing that they need to develop the system based upon that purchase power agreement and the guarantee that we're going to buy that power for the course of 20 years.
What are you going to do if you get more applicants than you have capacity?
Well, they'll be put on a waiting list to see how those initial applications go forward. I would imagine that some of them will drop out, for one reason or another. So we'll have a waiting list. We'll continue to keep them on there. And then, as I say, we're going to be monitoring this program as we go through this 2-year pilot. But there may be some opportunities to do some things in the interim period as well. But as I say, with this program a little over a week old, we've been very pleased with the response. We're very pleased about the initial comments from both the development side, those who are going to build the systems, as well as the property owners where the systems are going to be built. They've been very, very pleased with the process that we've put in place. So I think we're off to a very good start here.
Will the names of program applicants be made public, and if so, how?
That's something that's being discussed now. It's not a question of if they will. I'm sure they will. It's a question of when. Obviously, there are contractual issues that are going on between the developer, the property owner, and us. I think as projects become developed and come online, there'll be I think there'll be much ballyhoo around it. There'll be some press around it, but I think there probably will be some type of mapping on our website that shows where these arrays are, and we probably will have the list up as we go forward.
Okay. What's a REC, an REC, and how are those treated by this program?
Sure. Those are renewable energy credits. Those are based on megawatts for renewable energy. New York State does have a renewable portfolio standard. As part of that purchase power agreement that we have with the developer, we have ownership of the energy, of the capacity, and of those credits. So we hold on to those credits. It goes towards the state's renewable portfolio standard, and we'll continue to try to build upon those.
What's been the most interesting part of this project for you so far?
It's been the evolution of it and the development of the project. I was very much involved in the customer side rebate program over the past few years. LIPA, back in 2008, issued a request for proposals for large utility scale that I was very much involved in, two different approaches to grow our renewable energy portfolio here, and now to develop a third type of a program, this Clean Solar Initiative, the feed-in tariff, that bridges our customer-sided programs with our utility-scale programs, has been a very exciting process, not only for me, but for the staff that has worked very diligently on this for about a year or so, putting this program together.
Okay, why don't you wrap up by telling us the significance of this program for LIPA going forward as a pioneer in renewable energy?
Well, I think since 2000, LIPA has been a pioneer in renewable energy and the development of solar, with our first solar pioneer application that came in. We've evolved that program into the Solar Entrepreneur Program for our commercial customers. We evolved from there to our utility scale program that generated 50 megawatts from two projects, actually. And now to evolve into this feed-in tariff, which is a standard offer program that, again, diversifies our program but bridges those small residential to the large utility scale into that small, mid-sized commercial to the large commercial at a standard offer. I think is going to be a good foundation for us to, once again, grow our solar programs, be a leader in the country on it, and gives us a springboard for the next evolution of solar programs as we go forward.
Might that be to provide feed-in tariffs for individual residential homeowners?
It could potentially be that. I think what we continue to be interested in is the larger systems, because it's easy to monitor. There's not as many, if you will, and you can get more energy from fewer locations. I think the other thing is, the way it stands right now, customers are probably it's more beneficial to go into our customer program and utilize net metering than it is to become a power generator, if you will. So I think the economics are still there for our residential customers to benefit from net metering, whereas our larger renewable resources can be developed through the feed-in tariff, because that could be put on parking lots, open spaces, excess roof space beyond what somebody is capable of net metering in a commercial sector.
Okay, good. I want to thank you very much for your work on this and for talking to us about it today on Utopia News.
Thank you, Mark. Really appreciated being here.
Okay,
bye. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.